makes a move towards the middle, they're going to make him kick it out.
Young picked up his third. Inside, that's Tony Parker. Scooping it home. Nice pass. Craver stripped to the ball. Here comes UCLA, Adams, Parker, and no one is going to get in his way.
Nice. That game could have gotten out of shape early there. He had a good timeout earlier, and they've come back.
Walk-up blocked the first, but not the second. And one.
The bench just going crazy, and veteran said that during that timeout, there was a time that Des Heyman wasn't even standing in the huddle. People were leaving him alone like he was a pitcher with a no-hitter going.
Yeah, VCU called timeout before that foul shot to tie it up, and Heyman told us he was in his zone, wasn't really listening to his coach during the timeout. Parker was looking
for tips from walk-up, too. Very few second-chance opportunities.
7th rebound for Anderson. He averages 8.8 per game. Got the ball in his hands here. Now Alford baseline. Finds Parker inside off the dish from Alford. And chants from the fans here in San Diego on their feet to support UCLA. And the foul. Levine dish to Parker. Turnaround, partially blocked. Parker gets it back. Right to the hoop and the slam. Oh, but the offensive rebound to David Ware. And a fresh shot clock for the Bruins. Anderson drives in and doesn't have the touch on that one. Parker, the follow and the foul. Ray for three. UCLA is keeping the door open for Tulsa, but the Golden Hurricane just can't seem to get some buckets to drop.
Well, since that timeout at about the 16-minute mark, he's calmed things down inside. Good deep position that time.
DeAndre Wright and Tulsa not going quietly.
Well, Tony Parker just laying on his back, gave up great position inside. He's got to fight a little bit harder defensively.
DeAndre Wright has 12 of his 18 points this half. He's matched his season high. Adams spins in the lane. The dish down low, and Parker connects. So gets a hand on that one. Alford recovers. Inside 3 to play. And what a pass. No finish. No putback. Now there is Parker in the foul.
Overhead pass to Adams. Adams no good. And the offensive glass by Parker, banging underneath, and he gets it to drop.
Hard show on that screen is popped there by Aaron Gordon once again.
Anderson hand to the face, no good. Parker underneath, and he cleans it up.
That's how Parker's able to get it.
Dribble. Gage spots up for another three. On line, but short. Nice pass underneath. Parker bodies, and he gets the hook.
Speaks to the level that other guys on the team is Parker.
Nice job by Tony Parker and one. Meanwhile, the foul here was on Ben Carter of Oregon. 16 fouls on the Ducks, 2 on the Bruins.
It's hard to keep track of who's in the game for Oregon, isn't it? I mean, they play so many guys and they're in and out. That's why they can play so fast.
On pace to score the 80 that they normally do. Shots like that, as they get the tip in there, they've missed a lot.
Strike. And now UCLA in transition. A pull-up three. Alford not there, but Levine got the rebound. And wasn't sure if he was trying to pass it out or actually shoot that.
Beautiful pass.
And Parker with an easy 2. That was
every time we see him playing, he's just so vastly improved.
And Jordan Adams slipped. Looks to be all right. As Parker, nice move, got to his left.
To the front court. Sean Kemp with the Graves' disease problem that really slowed him down early on. Then you got Gerard Janot. Hasn't been able to play all year. He got hurt in the very opening seconds of the first. Not running hard enough and fast enough with enough emotional commitment to get this out over the top. Great defense, Ware brothers.
Anderson spinning and delivering the pass. 8 minutes to go. Great shooting display by both teams tonight.
This is a last man standing type of game. Who's going to have the endurance? Traveling violation.
It's up in the rafters.
Might be able to buy it in the student union. But you're not going to find it in the cage. Anderson. Alford. Travis Ware lays it off. Parker. Too easy. Freshman All-American. Oh, guess who? Roll! Almost another block, but the Bruins get down.
But you got to turn around and got to rebound the ball. He didn't. Brown was more active and wanted it more and finished.
I think that's what frustrates the Bruins sometimes about Tony Parker. Adams trying to find Parker, who scores down low. Alford ready to shoot. Too strong. Parker there on the offensive glass. The putback goes with a foul. They look like a tournament team.
Their defense has stifled UCLA, who's been averaging 83 points per game. They've got 44 with 13 remaining.
Parker fumbled the catch, scores anyway. Justice got the size advantage. Parker came over for the help defense, though. That was good D by Tony Parker. Here's Powell in transition. Feeds the big man down low. Soft touch from Parker. Advantage for the Bruins was huge. Down at Pauly. Anderson off the inbound. Feeds Parker. Good entry pass. And a soft touch again for the big man. Randall had it poked away and stolen. Levine. Stanford did rush back on defense. Ninth steal for the Bruins. Good look down low. Bucket with a foul for Tony Parker.
Chopped that zone up that time. UCLA, I would say it's about 50-50 now, zone and man, and they've gotten better at that zone, but Cal really executed that time. Again, I said it earlier, not much has gone right for Cal in this first half, but they're only down 8 with 8 minutes to go. They still got a chance to flip it around before the end of the first half.
With Kyle Anderson and Justin Cobbs both off the floor inside of 8. Parker against Rooks. Tyrone Wallace had it knocked away at the last moment. No whistle. Wow. Now Parker's out on the break. Tony Parker.
The long-term impact of tonight for Jabari Bird. Saw it go through the bucket a few times, been really struggling. Hit a 3. So maybe that kick starts him.
He's got 11 points. That's the most he's had.
Powell. Parker. That might do it.
Alford just beside himself over there over this turn of events, and very much like what happened in the USC game in the Bruins' last outing. Beautiful delivery on the duck in from the weak side. He could not have been better. Volunteered to do all the dirty work.
Great offensive rebound. Parker. Speaking of doing the dirty work, it's Parker.
That extra distance.
A floater, no, but Parker is there after the Alford miss. Now Parker.
11 double-doubles already this year. UCLA ball, the Ware twins are back in. Right, I take that back. Travis Ware is in. Along with Tony Parker up front, Bryce Alford, Norman Powell, and Zach Levine, the wings. Parker inside. 13 straight points for the Bruins.
Running the floor, Collier in great position, trailing the action. Usually Roberto Nelson in the open court is an easy 2, but Collier never gave up on the play.
9-2 run for the Beavers. Underneath, Tony Parker by himself for the land. Game, and got to assume that Rondé Hollis-Jefferson will be thrust into more of a spotlight role. He really was playing a lot as the 6th man. Maybe Elliot Pitts needs to step up. The Wildcats have to look for some contributors, and Sean Miller will get that group ready to go. And of course, they host Oregon on Thursday night at McHale Center as Tony Parker.
Here's Steve Alford's son, Bryce, who's an excellent shooter. Entry pass to Parker for the jam. Good find by Powell, and there's that first assist since 9 for UCLA. Here's Anderson, a deep 3, and it's around and out, but Parker's there, and he puts it back.
How cool was that? Oregon is not going to win this game if they try to make shots off their own dribble. That's not the strength of their team. Beautiful pass, Kyle Anderson.
And Parker just out-muscles Marty and gets position. 12. A sloppy game in that respect. We thought we'd see a game in the 90s.
We're going to get a game in the 80s here. A lot of action still to be played here, but Oregon is flailing. They're just kind of just scrambling and trying to make only hustle plays as opposed to the skilled and disciplined plays that we just see from Tony Parker.
Now, Tony Parker,
I think having Shabazz Muhammad on the other side of the floor really opened things up for Jordan last year, and now he's being guarded way more closely.
Good flash there. Yep. You flash to that open foul line spot, and then
2 losses, and if UCLA beats Cal on Sunday, they'll have 2 losses.
Parker, good rebound. The long rebound. It took him 2 tries yet.
Funny how that works when you're the leading scorer on a team. You don't get that many clean looks when you go on the road.
Steve Alford giving this 5 group a little bit of a run here, letting them stay on the floor. Nice drop step, very nicely done by Parker. That'll be a goal.
They're smart enough to recognize when a guy's got it going, or when he's really into the game, or when he's, impacting it. And I think the rest of the UCLA team senses it tonight with Tony Parker.
And Johnny Dawkins just made a switch because he sees John Gage was getting beat up a little bit in the post defense. He brought in Grant Verhoeven.
It's been pretty good all year. That's why I think we talked about it so much. You and I have done enough for their games. They're not a high-volume fouling team. So for them to pick up that many quick fouls that early was different for them.
Levine beat it with a dribble, and Parker flushed. And Parker finishes. Are hundreds of young men like me who went to Notre Dame and may have been swayed by that game. Really? My senior year of high school. And I'm serious, when you saw that game on television back in the day when that game registered, when everybody watched it, Parker dunks. And to under facing shot, and again, we're in this, it's just basically been a 10 to 14 point window that this entire second half has been played.
I'm sure UCLA be fine with bleeding this thing out, trading baskets the rest of the way, and cruise on in. Stanford's got to dig in.
And Levine sets up Parker again. Parker
here. He'll get to deal with Richard Solomon, David Kravish, and company on Sunday.
Well, Parker's got a new career high.
By just a slim margin, just 4 losses by a combined 9 points this season. Utah winning the fast break battle today as well, outscoring the Bruins 11-3. High percentage.
Threes that were dropping for Utah early, now that the pressure and intensity is picked up, are not dropping at all.
Levine lobs it in. It's a 4-point game.
The first 5.
Well, and I'll tell you what UCLA's gotten better at the last couple of weeks is rebounding. They were not a very good defensive team or rebounding team to start the year. The last couple of weeks, they've made some strides in both those areas. Not only in their man-to-man defense, but their zone defense as well.
Nice spot down low.
And in the zone particularly, they've gotten better because they've done it more. We're deep enough into the season now that they kind of figured out how they want to play in that zone.
So 2 freshmen on, Levine and Alford both, and Parker with a tonight. UCLA just 4 out of 7. That's a 2. Parker put it back.
Needing to make the most of each possession.
Powell drops it out. Parker has a shot blocked by Wyszynski. Parker gets it back and puts it.
Parker. Alford looking to push the tempo, drives, wild shot.
Here's Parker with the follow tip.
Their families knew each other growing up. TJ's aunt is Susie McConnell. Coach it quick. Gordon misfires. He was working on 3-point shots after practice today for about 15 minutes. Levine, tough pass there, but Parker able to catch and put it in.
Tony Parker bailing out.
Shot clock at 5. Ashley catching in the high post. Lost the ball, and Adams has it for UCLA. Anderson going one-on-one. Got caught in the air, but finds Parker. A rare touch in the second half for Parker. And he's sticking.
3-point shooter, but, 17 in hand. Jacobs up top.
Haley can't finish with a putback. Parker gets a loose ball. Kyle Anderson finds Parker, and Parker's able to finish. Is, he came in with a certain style of play, and he had to adjust because of the big men he has on this team.
Exactly.
Once he gets his recruits in, that's when I think you're going to start seeing his exciting brand of basketball.
Yeah, because it started this game. Now they're the ones that are pressing the Bruins off the court, making the big guys handle the ball.
Fifth three-pointer for Alabama. Parker up strong, put it in.
Who's coaching at Alabama? His name is Nick Saban.
I've heard of him.
And he's done quite a remarkable job. So let's not put the burden of expectations as something that is insurmountable.
Parker inside gets the basket.
The perfect stroke, the perfect release. He says he's 18 years old. He can't be more than 14.
One of many great freshmen you'll see in the Pac-12. Wednesday and Thursday nights, 9 Eastern, ESPN. ESPN2, Aaron Gordon, of course, at Arizona, even if they're 30 feet away from the basket.
Doesn't matter what the rules are, as long as they're equally enforced. But Wilt made the greatest point ever when he was arguing with Michael Jordan about who was the greatest ever. And he said, Michael, never forget, when you played, they changed all the rules to make it easier for you. When I played, they changed every rule to make it harder. And Wilt, by the way, in his first college game, 52 points, 31 rebounds.
Beautiful move by Alabama. Here's the roll by Ware. The jumper's in and out. And then Ware gets it back. Short. Parker able to put it back in.
The double comes, steps through it. Tries to muscle it up. Anderson has the rebound.
Good defense, Tony Parker.
Nice look. Good find by Anderson. And a free throw coming.
Oh, no, they're pretty good.
Fulton, standing three, didn't leave the ground. And it bangs out. McGee finds Alfred. Dumps it in. Parker.
They needed that. Stop the bleeding. 7-point game. They're in zone now.
Bryce Alford, 7 points. Has run the offense well. Howard gets a screen. Shot clock running down. Bale high post to a low post in Parker. Just count the years that Tara Vanderveer's been their head coach.
Year after year after year.
He just celebrated her 900th career win. Parker was so
Zach LaVine wants to go.
See how LaVine just glides. He's one of those guys, that's it's effortless.
Big strides. He got out of the backcourt about 4 steps. There he is with the ball, leading all freshmen in the conference in scoring. Parker spins one way, comes back.
It's a Criswell three. And a rebound by the 6'9" Anderson. So he's rebounding, he's driving, he's hopping outside, and here it comes with the feed into Tony Parker, who finds it.
Here's Jordan Adams, gets a good look at the baseline, rattles out, offensive rebound, Tony Parker, count the basket and one. Norman Powell for three, no good. Tony Parker hustling in the offensive glass. Parker in the lane, finishes with a left hand. For the floor, the Bruins only 5 turnovers. UCSB has given it away 13 times.
And a big one on that last possession.
Alan Williams back in, so is Kyle Boswell.
Nice.
Williams, Tony Parker the finish.
Yeah, you start a game 9 for 12, it's hard to keep that going. And as we talked about, if you start a game 9 for 12 from behind the line, you better have a good lead at that point. And they were only up 1 when we first started saying that.
UCLA content to run some clock here.
No
need to foul now if you're Santa Barbara.
Tony Parker fouled in one.
From Cale Abrahamson. He's a wiry athlete, and he's got a really quick release.
Bounce pass. Parker underneath. Tony Parker.
Tony Parker.
UCLA really packing in that man-to-man. They're going to let Chattanooga shoot jumpers, not a great shooting team, and challenge everything in the paint.
Opponent shooting just 35% against UCLA through 4 games so far, only 26% from three-point distance.
Doesn't that number seem kind of, this isn't knocking UCLA
consecutive double-double as Mason finishes.
Not sure he'll get enough minutes to do that.
Great catch by Parker. Is watching Levine throw it down in the first half and saying, wait a second, I got to get back out there in the second and lay claim to my throne as UCLA's doing. Aubrey Williams.
But this has been good for UCLA, especially with that's their advantage. Morehead State's smaller, maybe a hair quicker, but UCLA should be able to pound them inside.
They're doing just that.
McKinney with the basket for Sacramento State. Every so often you run into a coach. Parker, nice feed. Boy, Anderson shot from Steubenville.
That's the first time Sac State scored in a while.
And that's about the quickest they've scored.
Yeah.
Parker gets it down.
In the first practice here at UCLA.
And you're not kidding.
I'm not kidding. I challenge everybody that's watching this game to go watch an AAU tournament and tell me what you see and why there's.
He said next week.
Yeah, about a week away. And Bale's going to help them. Long arm, active guy, shot blocker.
Put back by Tony Anderson handling.
Well, I'm not sure who the other candidates would be to be the point guard. I think Bryce Alford can play some point. They have some guys that can play some point. Parker.
We're at the Rose Bowl back in September for a football game, and Jeff Ulbrich played in the NFL a long time, told me Miles Jack could start like 6 different positions for us. Man.
Yeah, didn't play on Friday. Getting a chance here.
And there's Parker again.
Be a team that's going to be launching from behind the line a lot. I think they want to get stuff in the painted area.
Another one. Well, it's
and too. I know they're in foul trouble, but you're also down 20.
There again, Anderson driving and setting up. 3.
But Oakland, a lot of holes in that zone, as I mentioned in the first half. A lot of driving lanes. There's that lead pass again. But I think it's more of a focus. I don't think, as I said in the first half, I don't think you're going to see UCLA become a team that shoots a lot of three-pointers. And they have some guys that can shoot. I just don't think that's the philosophy.
And inside again.
He didn't shoot as high a percentage as I thought he would have last year. Had a terrific freshman year, 15.5 a game, but only shot 31% from behind the line. That was his reputation. 3-point record or the school. We're talking about all time. Think about that. How many players have played in the NCAA basketball since 1985?
Well, can he make the quarter 3?
And guard somebody.
Yep. Nice feed.
A dribble drive offense, looking for creases, looking for kickouts. That's their offense against man-to-man, but UCLA played so much zone tonight. Didn't really see much of it.
David Brown in for the Bruins.
You got to catch that. If you want to shoot it, you got to catch it.
I think he's going to hear about that. And Parker dunks it.
Not get the shooter's roll. And the rebound comes down to Kyle Anderson.
This is what you're going to see more of from Anderson. Did some of it last year, but rebound and lead the break. And a free layup for Lee. Cut it to 4 again.
UCLA leading at 61-57. Powell underneath to Parker. Forces it up and in. Tony Parker. Didn't draw iron.
No need to foul if you're Drexel. One possession game, minute and a half to go. Just got to lock in here and get a stop.
Ware coming out to set a ball screen. Anderson doesn't use it. Norman Powell, hook pass to Parker, slam dunk.